Have you ever sat with someone you love, and the silence between you felt heavier than any words? It's the quiet after an argument, or the emptiness in a car ride that once overflowed with laughter. Silence in a relationship isn't just the absence of sound. It's a presence, a force that can comfort or divide. Sometimes it's a signal or a weapon. Other times it's a bridge or a chasm. When the talking stops, a different kind of communication begins, one that often stirs our deepest fears. Learning to navigate both the painful and peaceful silences is a sign of mature love. It's about listening to what isn't being said. Silence in a relationship is never just a pause, it's a message. Sometimes it's the silent treatment, a way to express anger or hurt without words, a strategic move in conflict. Other times it signals emotional withdrawal, a slow drift apart as daily check-ins and laughter fade. Silence can also be rooted in fear, of conflict, of being misunderstood, or of making things worse. But not all silence is negative. In secure relationships, silence can mean trust and comfort, the ability to simply be together without words. It says, "I'm here, and that's enough." The challenge is learning to tell the difference. Silence can be a warning sign or a peaceful haven. Why does silence from a loved one make us so anxious, even when we know it might not mean anything bad? We crave feedback, smiles, words, gestures, to feel seen, valued, and accepted by those around us. When that's gone, our minds quickly fill the void with worst-case scenarios and anxious thoughts. Silence can trigger old fears of abandonment or rejection, especially if we grew up associating quiet with trouble or conflict. It's a cognitive trap. Our brains assume the worst, and we spiral into anxiety before we even realize it. When silence is used as a weapon, it creates a power imbalance, leaving one partner desperate to reconnect and restore harmony. Recognizing these triggers is the first step to responding with understanding, not fear or panic. The goal is to break the cycle, and not let old wounds or past experiences dictate our reactions. Consider Sarah, whose husband Mark responded to conflict with days of silence. Each disagreement, no matter how small, would trigger a chilling quiet that filled their home. Instead of talking things through, Mark would retreat into himself, leaving Sarah to navigate the aftermath alone. He moved through their home like a ghost, barely acknowledging her presence, leaving her feeling invisible and desperate for any sign of connection. The air between them grew heavier with every unspoken word, and Sarah's anxiety only deepened as she waited for the silence to break. The silence gave him all the power, and she found herself apologizing just to break it. She would often question herself, wondering what she had done wrong, even when she knew she hadn't caused the conflict. For Sarah, the silence was torture, a tool of control that left her feeling isolated and emotionally drained. The lack of communication made her doubt her own worth and left scars that lingered long after the arguments ended. Then there's David, whose girlfriend shut down whenever things got serious. Whenever emotions ran high or difficult topics came up, she would withdraw, leaving David to face the silence alone. Her silence wasn't angry, but it built a wall he couldn't cross. No matter how gently he tried to reach her, she remained distant, making it impossible for him to understand her feelings or needs. David felt alone, eventually avoiding important conversations to escape the pain of being shut out. Over time, he stopped sharing his own feelings, afraid of triggering another shutdown, and the distance between them only grew. In both stories, silence became a barrier to intimacy, creating emotional distance that was hard to bridge. The quiet wasn't peaceful. It was a sign of unresolved pain and unmet needs. When silence replaces communication, relationships wither. The absence of honest conversation leaves wounds that fester, making it harder to rebuild trust and closeness. The weight of unspoken words can be enough to break even the strongest bonds. True connection requires vulnerability, and without it, even love can fade into loneliness. Silence can be destructive, a wedge that drives people apart, especially when used as punishment or avoidance. The silent treatment manipulates, erodes trust, and leaves emotional scars. Avoiding tough conversations creates a fragile peace, but resentment festers beneath the surface. Yet, silence isn't always the enemy. Taking a pause during conflict can be healthy, giving both partners space to cool down and reflect. Shared, comfortable silence, reading together, watching the world go by, signals deep trust and connection. It's a sanctuary, not a void. The key is intention. Is silence a weapon or a moment of peace? Healing silence brings partners closer, Harmful silence pushes them apart. Learning the difference is essential for lasting love. How do we make silence a force for connection, not distance? In relationships, silence can feel heavy, even uncomfortable, but it doesn't have to be a barrier. Instead, it can become a bridge, an opportunity to understand each other on a deeper level. Start by talking about how you handle quiet. Yes, talk about not talking. Share what silence means to you and ask your partner what it means to them. Sometimes quiet is a sign of comfort. Other times, it signals something's wrong. Agree on ways to pause during conflict, like using a safe word and setting a time to reconnect. This helps both partners feel safe, knowing the silence is temporary and purposeful, not a withdrawal or punishment. This turns silence from punishment into a productive break. It gives space to cool down, reflect, and return to the conversation with more clarity and compassion. Learn to distinguish between harmful and harmless silence. Not every quiet moment is a sign of trouble. Sometimes it's just a pause to gather thoughts or simply enjoy each other's presence. When your partner is quiet, check in gently. You seem quiet. Are you okay? This simple question can open the door to honest conversation and show you care about their feelings. Replace assumptions with curiosity and care. Instead of jumping to conclusions, approach your partner with empathy and a willingness to listen. Also, intentionally create positive silences, walks, reading, or just being together. These moments of shared quiet can be just as meaningful as words, building comfort and trust. Teach yourselves that silence can mean safety, not danger. When you both feel secure in the quiet, it becomes a space for healing and closeness. These moments build trust and resilience for when difficult silences arise. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to navigate the quiet together. In the quiet, you can find a deeper, unspoken connection, one that words alone can't always express. Embracing silence together can be one of the most powerful ways to grow closer. The story of our relationships is written as much in silence as in words. In every partnership, there are moments when words fall away, and what remains is the quiet space between us. These pauses, though often overlooked, are where true understanding can begin to grow. Silence can be a battleground or a sanctuary, a place of pain or of peace. It can feel heavy and uncomfortable, or it can offer a gentle refuge where we can simply be ourselves, together or apart. The silent treatment and avoidance cause deep wounds, leaving us feeling isolated and misunderstood. But when we choose to pause peacefully, we create space for healing, reflection, and reconnection. These moments can help us process emotions and return to each other with greater empathy. The journey is to become fluent in this unspoken language, to ask, "What is this silence telling me?" instead of letting fear or insecurity take over. Silence can be a message, a question, or even an invitation to listen more deeply. Set ground rules, check in with each other, and bravely face uncomfortable silences. By acknowledging these moments, we show respect for our partner's feelings and create a safe space for honest communication. A relationship that can hold both conversation and quiet is built to last. When we learn to appreciate the value of peaceful pauses, we discover a deeper level of trust and comfort with one another. The goal isn't to eliminate silence, but to harness its power for good. Embracing these pauses allows us to recharge, reflect, and reconnect, making our bond even stronger. Sometimes the deepest love is found in what's left unsaid. In those quiet moments, we find reassurance, acceptance, and a sense of belonging that words alone can never fully express.